and then start recording. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm live, and I think I'm recording. So I added a couple of things to the Stream Deck. I added a timer so I can just look at how long I've been doing the thing. Hold on, what happens when I press this? It just stops it. Okay, so I can reset it back to what it was. But if you click it, it's fucking done for. Okay, cool. So I shouldn't have to ask people for a time any longer. And I guess I can just start and stop recording with a simple press of these buttons. Oh, God. All right, let me hop up and just check, because better safe than fucking sorry here. Okay. Yeah, all seems well. So let me just let people know that we do have editing on offer for them to check out here. For those people that really want to see day 50. That's a lot of fucking days right there. And we got through a bunch of pages. Yesterday we got through 8 pages. So we're at 398, and then we're at 48 of 87 chapters. And we're taking viewer suggestions and edits, as always. All right. Boom. Just let people know there. I'm going to let LRH know about it. Boom. Apparently LRH is the Chaz Bono fan club. I don't watch Curb. So, but my understanding is that's a character with a... I'm not into manga unless Western made because I don't like reading backwards. But if they made the anime... So this guy was talking about an anime called fucking How to Build a Dungeon, Book of the Demon King, which on closer examination looks like it's probably just thinly veiled pornography. It's kind of a bummer, but because I would be interested. It reminds me a little bit of that Rapasaurus, but yeah, writing in bilingual Portuguese. Why? And the dude who posted a stream above me posts a word of the day every day, and his word was fucking hypocritical. That's the utmost hypocrisy right there. Oh shit, Big Jordan O. This might be late enough in the morning for you to actually check out a writing stream. Yeah, man, follow your fucking dreams. So I finally got through to Eraser. I'm trying to get him to record this song. But you too, if you want to try your hand at a song for LRH, or it's actually, it's an LRH branded product, I guess, for an FNet News thing that I'm doing. Is a very simple song. The sheet music is like as simple as it fucking gets. And you don't even really need to go by the sheet music, but it's only 30 seconds long, and you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. I'm just trying to find somebody to do something for the intro music. So if you want a piece of that, let me know, and I'll message you this song. You will laugh. Maybe you'll cry. I don't know. But I need to get that. I need to get a song made, because I think today I should really record this thing and start working on the graphics and everything for it. I haven't done FNet News in like 2 or 3 weeks, and people need to understand that the reason why is because I had a big stupid idea, and try and carry it out. All right, what do we got here? So chapter 48. As I recall, this one is kind of short, because this is about a bunch of shit blowing up. And maybe not a chapter that I should be editing the morning after a show where I'm like all zonked. But here we are. Really don't have any other choice at this point. All right, so this is Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady by Zak Zyz. Chapter 48. MEVTCTMANYORIA 5 cents. Y'all know what that's all about? At the time where this was written, that was the can deposit in those states. I don't know if you ever saw that Seinfeld episode where fucking Kramer and Neumann are riding in some mail truck full of cans trying to get the money on the deposits. But yeah, like it's the bottle deposits that you can get on cans because all the pipe bombs that they planted all over the place were in soda cans. I still haven't done the research. I think I'm just gonna stick with it. I think the idea is that what explosive were they were using? I don't think it's. I think it's got to be some kind of plastic explosive that they're using. It's like a construction explosive because the idea is that they stole it from a dynamite locker, which doesn't really contain dynamite locker. Well, I guess maybe they have some dynamite. I don't know what people use to dig out fucking tunnels these days. But I think if they do blasting, it's like much more controlled and they tend towards plastic explosive at this point. Let's find out. That's the kind of shit we should need. Oh, this isn't so good. Damage of cast iron, internal explosion, pipe bomb explosion in New York City. What? I don't remember this. A bomb strapped to a would-be suicide bomber. A pipe bomb explosion in New York City subway tunnel. I don't fucking remember this. Height of the morning rush. A fucking pipe bomb. Well, this is not what I'm looking for right here. Subway structures under blast loading. Yeah, what are they using? Is it like Semtex or info based blends, drilling and blasting? Here we go. Let's see, what are they doing at the moment there? Before the advent of tunnel boring machines, still used in the construction of tunnels. Tunnel boring machines have a high capital cost, usually quicker than a drill and blast. The price per meter. Longer tunnels, they tend to do that. Anfo-based blends. What are anfo-based blends? Ammonium nitrate at a potash thing. Okay, so I should have known that. Mixture of solid ammonium nitrate plus diesel fuel. Huh. Most commonly are emulsions, water resistance, and higher bulk density. Crystalline ammonium nitrate. And then aluminum has fallen out of cost. Charging a hole with ANFO for rock blasting. Merely an oxidizer. ANFO, blasting cap insensitive. So it's classified as a blasting agent. What's blasting cap insensitive? Okay, yeah, they're electrically initiated. Widely used fertilizer found in instant cold packs. Huh. Its purchase and use are restricted to buyers who have obtained the proper license. Huh. Yeah, wasn't ANFO... Yeah, that was what they used for the Oklahoma City bombing, right? Revolutionary support. Okay, so an Oslo bombing was 950 kilograms, 150 kilograms of aluminum powder, which increased its demolition power by 30%. They found ANFO on there. A sophisticated version of ANFO, ammonium nitrate with nitromethane as the fuel, called ANMM. Oh, okay. Nitromethane. Where the fuck do you get that? Organic compound. Extractions being top fuel drag racing. Hell yeah. All right. What are we sipping on there? Some component of his bomb was stolen from construction sites. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't like a fucking just like fertilizer and fucking. It's weird that I didn't know that diesel fuel was the other component of it. I guess in most books and movies and stuff, they leave out the critical part. Like when you watch Fight Club, he's like, napalm is just fucking gasoline and orange juice. Like that shit doesn't work. It's just gasoline and styrofoam. Um, some kind of extruded plastic or like some kind of gelling agent. You can do it with a lot of different stuff, is my understanding. But so I had an idea while we're talking about just random destructive things for no reason. Last night I was kind of having an idea of a bunch of fucking nerds attacking the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone with drones that were just essentially dropping napalm on the place, just burning everything down. And I started thinking a lot of, because I'm working on that book, Empire of the Automatons, or Emperor of the Automatons. That's about a kind of mad scientist type situation with drones. But the idea of using drones to start gigantic fucking fires is vastly appealing in terms of like the scope that I could get at. Because these things could be flying multiple missions and just dropping napalm left and right, napalm canisters. You could literally make essentially incendiary bombs. Wait, how much of this shit? All right, let's just stop here. Like these are, for me, these are ideas for stories, but it's kind of irresponsible to put them out to my audience of 3 or 4 people. Who knows which one of you, like Jordan O, might go wild and burn down all of Phoenix or something. Oh, I can't remember if he's in Phoenix or Albuquerque. All right. Palestinians caught ton of Israeli fields on fire using kites. That's kind of gangster. Like, I wonder if like an attack of like Japanese lantern bombs, like those paper bags that you can't get like a lot of fucking propellant into one of those things because they're so little yield, but they are cheap as fuck. All you need is a votive and a fucking paper bag. Earlier today out the window, I heard somebody frantically asking people if they had seen a dog, and a woman had apparently lost her poodle. And a woman sounded like kind of a cunt, unfortunately. I know she was just upset, but even when somebody's upset, you get to find out what their real personality is. So she sounded like kind of a cunt, but I still felt bad for her because it sucks to lose your dog, especially in New York where odds are good that it'll get mowed down by a car. So Stratum thinks that the Antifa people will be well versed in the fight of the Palestinians and will use these methods to fight the drones. I honestly think, Jesus Christ, let's think about how viable something like that is, right? So I'm gonna say that like a solenoid release mechanism, you could. All right, what's like a. Let's take a look at how this works out. Because like I'm in it. We can't use the DJI shit because all that shit is Rise Tello. All right, so this thing is like $150 fucking dollars, right? What's its carrying capacity? I want to say that a napalm-based agent weighing, if you could, this is probably not the right drone for it, right? This is I think this is just a photography fucking around type drone. But I don't think it's, I think it's fair to say that you could probably get some China drone. Timecop would be the person that could really let us know what would be the heaviest lifting. I think for about $500 you could set up one of these drones. I think modifying it to essentially drop glass fucking vessels that had an igniter cap in them could be done for under $100 drone, assuming that you didn't just want to make them suicide drones. I think each one of those could have like a pretty decent chance of Well, you hit kind of a problem there because it's actually relatively difficult to set a roof on fire. Most roofing materials aren't terribly flammable on their own. Um, and really, that's not the right way to start a house fire and so forth. So it's difficult to start a fire just by like hitting something on the roof, I guess. So Israel has drones like ones used for Hollywood recording to drop tear gas on protesters. Not huge drones, um, but small enough so it could be done. Yeah, it could absolutely. I'm saying that it could be done for like somebody could throw $20,000 at this problem and burn down a significant portion of a city in one night. Really and truly, like in Emperor of the Automatons, he modifies his fleet of drones to be like crop dusters, and he sprays a car staging lot with a fine mist of acid, and it just totals every single car. Um, and if you fucked around with sulfuric acid at all, it will just ruin fucking paint jobs. And if you ruin the entire paint job of a car like that with acid, it totals the car. You write it off. It's a complete insurance loss. Just the amount of work, because the fucking acid mist gets into everything. It corrodes every single thing it touches. I was working with metal etching for a little bit, and I was fucking just lazy, and I left this like bucket of acid open, like I didn't dispose of it properly, and just left that out. And I left for a weekend, and I came back. Every single tool in the place had this layer of corrosion over it from the acid mist, and probably fucked up a lot of other shit in that building. It's really irresponsible of me, the way I was using acid there. But yeah, man. And the thing about the reason why you're using drones instead of just having like a bunch of these fucking beatniks running around tossing Molotovs and stuff, which would be relatively effective, is that the whole drone thing can happen pretty rapidly. Like you could have a fleet of like 10 or so of these drones, and they can be set up to do multiple flight runs. And I think they have like copters and stuff like that, but it's quite difficult at night to do anything about a drone that's flying over things, just running a flight pattern, running back to the base, refueling. Zzz. Fuck. Yeah, I've always found like these ideas of how to conduct terror attacks in like kind of a creative way, to be fun to like brainstorm. And if you think about these ideas, like eventually, there's an impetus to just be like, oh no, don't tell people about those things. But I mean, it's not like terrorists aren't creative and can't brainstorm this shit on their own. One of my favorites was just like what I called the mortar pipe organ, which is basically a semi truck that just had a shit ton of mortar tubes that would like basically take a particular spot and park there and have that chalked off and do all the calculations. And each of those mortar tubes is set to hit a different building in New York City. And you park that thing in New Jersey, and you just start lobbing mortars across the lobbing these mortars at Manhattan. And literally, I think you could knock down maybe like a quarter of the buildings in Lower Manhattan in about 15 minutes of firing from like a semi truck just covered with mortar tubes. So if you think about these ideas, eventually 9/11 happens and people applaud you for thinking it up beforehand. I just need to find a way to monetize those ideas, because I don't actually have any strong desire to blow up half of Manhattan, but it would make like a really cool story. I think a lot of these like fucking Jack Reach Around or Born Identity or Tom Clancy type shit. It's just people want to read about horrifying destruction, like, oh, they blew up the fucking Vatican. I'd read that story. So, but yeah, that's what was running through my mind last night. The idea that some like fucking group of hillbillies will get real mad about the Chaz and be like, we'll show them, and fucking the horde of drones is dropping these fucking 40 bottles full of napalm all over the spot, and then the next thing you know, the whole thing goes up like a fucking candle, and thousands die, and cities in ruins and everything, and like the mayor being like, "Oh my God, how could they do this?" And Trump being like, "This is a terror attack on our soil. Antifa will pay." God, oh, people would be so mad. Someday, some way, I'll make it happen one of these days. But for now, we gotta do our edit there. So if you're wondering where I come up with the idea to just have like soda can bombs all over Grand Central, I can't believe there was a pipe bomb attack in 2017 that I didn't even fucking hear about. What, did they suppress it on the news here? That's the kind of thing that I would know. The last pipe bomb attack that I remember was the guy who his fucking pipe bomb went off wrong and he blew his dick off. You remember that guy? He was just like, I think I had a tweet about it, how I was like just going to work and some retarded mongoloid too stupid to assimilate correctly tries to fucking Al-Qaeda himself in the middle of the thing, only manages to blow his dick off. And you're like, huh. And then type. Late for stand-up, EOM. So thinking up these ideas is what the scholars in defense think tanks do all day. Oh, I'll give them away for fucking free. I have a million of these ideas. They just come to me, you know. Like, what if you used, I've talked about this one a bunch, but what if you used depth charges to blow up the Hoover Dam? Oh, that'd be gangsta. That'd be awful. Like 500,000 people would just fucking die because you were like, wonder if I could blow up that dam. Indeed you could. Oh, we've been talking about this for 20 minutes. We haven't edited anything. So let's get into it. The sky flares into a brilliant orange as... ooh. The sky flares into a brilliant orange dawn as the first bombs explode. Buildings paint their long shadows across one another, and mobs of people stream across the street. Earbuds in. Let's see. Let's move this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these two sentences don't fit together. No, so 7:06 a.m. was when we specified that our dawn was happening here. So this is 7:03. Yeah, their whole fucking fight takes like 3 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, you think I could get a job working for the military, just coming up with crazy shit to for them to get worried about? I'm a fucking mastermind. Yeah, I'm not getting any job offers from Al-Qaeda, so I guess I'll work for the dark side. I already work for the military, and they do not want me back. Trust me. Yeah, you know who never gets I'm too old now, I guess. But even back in the day, they would send out the like, don't bother with the selective service shit, because we don't want you. Don't even register. Mm-hmm. No, so they're not surging. Downcast mobs. Yeah. See, I'm sad that people are not jumping in with their own cool terror attack ideas. Now I feel like a little self-conscious that only I have the ideas for how to kill hundreds of thousands of people. I'm not gonna do them, guys. I'm like, I didn't get the right fucking. People were too nice to me for me to be a supervillain. I never, like plenty of women were, for whatever reason, dumb enough to hang out with me. I had a loving family. Fucking teachers paid attention to me in school. I have no excuse for this but myself. So I got everything in this life. So I don't have that like seething core of resentment you need to be a terrorist. And like I'm not super religious, so I missed the boat on being a supervillain. Ugh. And like I'm not doing well enough at the moment. Like I don't have like a family and a dog and like a suburban house that somebody could take away from me. So I can't have that arc where everything is taken away from you and you turn on the world bitterly in response. And even if I got like some crazy super cancer or something like that, I would just spend all my time doing dope. So this on the streets above, buildings paint their long shadow. On the streets above, buildings paint their long shadows across one another. Mm, I don't want to call them drones and dehumanize them too much. I think we did this before. Yeah, we were trying to get. Yeah, shuffle is better. The traffic lights change in crowds of oblivious. Oh, I don't like the rhyme of worry and hurry right here. Crowds of half-asleep pedestrians hustle to make it across 42nd Street before the light changes. We'll do signal there because we're talking a little bit about the sky flares into a brilliant orange dawn as the first bombs explode. On the streets above, buildings paint their long shadows across one another. Crowds of half-asleep pedestrians surge across 42nd Street. Mm. Mm. So much better. Okay. The sky flares into a brilliant orange dawn as the first bombs explode. On the streets above, buildings paint their long shadows across one another. The signal changes and a herd of half-asleep commuters migrates south across 42nd Street. Their eyes are down, their earbuds are in. They're oblivious to the war going on under their feet. They're all late for work, hurrying to get somewhere they don't want to go to. Hurrying to get somewhere they don't want to be. Okay. The two soda all right. Oh, so is Coca-Cola, is that how you, I think cola is also capitalized in Coca-Cola. Brand book. Ugh. Ugh. It's creepy. Awful. Okay. So we got to go back and fix Coca-Cola up here because I love how we got away. Oh yeah, we got that right. Matthew Hausterlitz is getting away, toting his Santa sack backpack of Coca-Cola pipe bombs. Fucking love that greasy ass sentence. An editor will fight with me over that one because I think you can make a strong argument that it breaks suspension of disbelief because it's so fucking hokey. But I don't care. I don't give a goddamn. I want that. The Coca-Cola grenades are ignited by a storm of induced current. So, the idea here is that Sarah is putting out so much electricity that like it's literally like hopping from wire to wire in the things and setting these guys off there. Kind of like an EMP, but it sort of sets the bombs off rather than just frying their circuitry. They're simple enough that I think they should just fucking go off rather than her just frying the detonators. And that's how the story is written. They pile their deafening blasts into the electric roar. The light of the... The Coca-Cola grenades are prematurely ignited by a storm of induced current. Their blasts are swallowed by the electric roar, dwarfed by the nova of burning light. A few seconds later, the disassembled wristwatches and the grenades click over to 7:06 a.m. Four more garbage cans detonate simultaneously. And we removed that backpack line because in the previous thing, we just had him chuck the backpack there. So yeah, I guess he managed to get 6 bombs total into the dining concourse whilst this was all going down. Suddenly, everything is shrapnel. Aluminum tabletops and fiber. Oh, yeah. Shards of trash cans, broken glass, mangled chairs, and food court. Let's just have tabletops. And tabletops are flung in every direction, turning men into mist. Screams of fear. Screams of fear become wails of death. The people who couldn't or wouldn't escape grope around on the floor, blind and bleeding. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ding. Suddenly the air is full of smoke and shrapnel. Shards of trash cans, broken glass, mangled chairs, and tabletops are flung in every direction, turning men into mist. Screams of fear become wails of pain and death. The people who couldn't or wouldn't escape grope around on the floor, blind and bleeding. The big clock clicks over to 7:06. The big clock clicks over to... The big clock upstairs clicks over to 7:06 and the other bombs detonate simultaneously. One of Matthew's bombs explodes in a trash can on the 456 platform. A packed full Local 6 train stands on the platform with its doors open. So yeah, if you ride the subway in New York, you will get that "release the doors." Like somebody will shout that in there. Abso-fucking-lutely. All right, hold on just a second. Let me see who dares to summon me. Let's see. Somebody was just offering to deal with the creepy stalking shit that we were getting. Thank you, by the way. It's always nice when motherfuckers are out here stalking and people are like, "I'll slay them for you." Yeah, I can do my own slaying, but it does make me feel good that people care. So thank you. Yeah, I don't know what it is this fucking week. You know, like everybody is tuned up to fucking 11. I think is what's happening here. Because just oh, Jordan O stepped out for a second. Missed any mentions? Jordan O, man. Like if you want to get in on doing an intro for this new news thing that I'm trying to do, it's only 30 seconds long. It's a super simple song that you have to cover, and you can do any crazy shit that you want. It just has to sound good. So if you wanted to make like a music thing that was only like 30 seconds fucking long, this could be your chance. You could fucking beatbox it. You could remix it. Literally, it could be anything that you fucking feel like, and it's only 30 seconds long. So message me on FNet if you want to get in on that. A lot of my things are Jupe, but I think Load Rodeo and Load Radio are both mine. Good God. Release the doors in the rear car. Over the intercom for the third time. They can't quite get their arm inside the train. Release the doors in the rear car, the conductor demands over the intercom for the third time. Yeah, I don't think we gain anything. So their voice would come over the intercom, but we can just have the conductor demands right there. We don't need to delay people's. The doors ding and slide open. The person gets their arm inside the train. Let me see. What sport team would be more apropos than the Astros right there? Fucking Houston Rockets. Be 2006 too. Who won the World Series in 2005? Oh, it was the fucking Astros. Oh, the White Sox were playing the fucking Astros. Yeah, let's give him a fucking white. Oh, he could have a White Sox hat. A man in a White Sox. A portly man in a White Sox cap is wedged in the door. He can't quite get his arm inside the train. A Sox fan gets his arm inside the train and the bomb explodes. Oh, how to make sheet music? Well, this one is super simple. All right, hold on. And it's really going to be kind of the first person that gets me something that sounds good. All right, here. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Jordan, no, you do not have to read sheet music to make a go of that. Right there, it could not be fucking simpler. Uh, know the letters on a piano, but that's about it. I don't read sheet music either, so don't feel the least bit bad about that shit. I'm really loving that I have a fucking timer now, so I can see how long I've been working on stuff. And like also just being able to stop and start recording from this console. This is fucking great. Loving it. I really am impressed by the Stream Decks. I bought like this giant fucking Stream Deck. I thought it was a little ludicrous, but nah, man, I'm fucking happy with it. Love it. Mm. All right, let's get down to business though. Um, the SpaceX girl who kept saying we'll return back in X minutes really ruined my weekend. Uh, so like trip hop, twinkle twinkle little star. Well, don't tell people what we're fucking working on here because it's a secret. Um, but you can do whatever you want on it. My thing is just it has to sound good. Like ideally, I'd like to find something that sounds like in the league of the intro that we do for the other show. That'd be fucking great. Just sounding good. Most important thing. 30 seconds, and then that it should be a recognizable medley from the other thing. And I'm gonna spend kind of all weekend working on that segment. It's only gonna be I will tell you people the news is gonna be like 2 minutes fucking long, right? But I'm gonna and 30 seconds of it will be that intro. But I'm gonna spend I will have spent like 2 or 3 weeks working on it for that 2 minute segment. So, uh, shout out to Spathy Wow right there. Riders are blasted off the platform. A Hasid man lands crazily on the third rail and goes up in a blue-white flash. The brakes of a 5 train entering the station scream, and so does everyone else. Hell yeah. A grenade explodes on the upper platform where buskers are setting up a battery. Mm-hmm. A grenade explodes on the upper platform where buskers are setting up to play for the morning crowd. Yeah, pop doesn't ring. Two detonate at the... Yeah, so all this shit is pre-Rona, where everybody's like right on top of each other all the time. Holy crap. Let me see. The explosion turns them into white-hot javelins. This is almost like a video game. You know what I'm fucking talking about? Like where, like a boss, or not even like a boss, but like, you know, like one of those video game things where things shoot out in the 8 cardinal directions or whatever. Kind of like that, man. The steel bands. The garbage can on the platform is made of thick steel ribs to keep people from kicking it over. The explosion turns them into white hot. Yeah. When it explodes, they become white hot javelins, cleaving through the crowd on the. Yeah, cleaving through the crowd on the platform and carving tunnels into the people packed inside the train. Carving tunnels through the people packed inside the train. Riders are blasted off the platform. A Hasid man lands crazily on the third rail and goes up in a blue-white flash. The brakes of the 5 train entering the station scream, and so does everyone else. Yeah, that's a little bit better. A grenade explodes on the packed upper platform where buskers are setting up to play for the morning crowd. 2 more cans detonate at the base of the escalators. The improvised grenades are stuffed full of nails and screws and ball bearings. Matthew left them resting on stairwells, sitting on ledges, rolled under benches. All the spots where people concentrate. What if I describe the scene, then describe where grenades go off afterward? What the fuck? So, that's a little heavy for a Saturday morning there. I think we're gonna end in like a sentence. Like this is like a, as I recall, this is like a 2 or 3 page scene. So let's go through with what we got. Matthew left them resting. Oh, maybe you just mean that line. Oh, it's Kristen Chapman saying that there. Yeah, that's like a big fucking edit right there. So I need to see a strong reason to do it. Yeah, he says, never mind right there. Yeah, I mean, if you can elaborate. Did we say that train should be? No, we don't do that way. I think the brakes. Oh, yeah. Let's give Spathy that old point. I think this worked. Yeah, it do work. Glad I fixed that shit. Let's take a gander. Yeah, that's one. That's one where it's like kind of confusing for me to understand exactly what you're getting at, and like it's a big structural change. Um, Trapped, describing the placid setting, and then it's like a grenade goes off there. Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. Let's finish through editing the chapter, and then we can worry about pacing afterward. Uh, because like yeah, that's like a relatively large structural change, and we still need to get the wording right. Yeah, let's see. A grenade explodes on the packed upper platform where buskers are setting up to play for the morning cloud. I keep calling them the morning cloud. What was what sound? Um, so I actually think Christian Chapman, even though like I couldn't quite get what he was saying right there, he makes a good point about the pacing right there. So I'm gonna give him an edit point right there. I think that's his first point on this stream. I hope it's his first fucking point. Yeah, I don't see another one for him there. I'm gonna give him a point there because even though I didn't, I, I see kind of what he's saying. I don't have like quite a bridge to what he's saying, but where it's it's kind of a little janky. What's going on there? Zach, I might have to deal with that. Fuck. Ugh. I just decided that's not my fucking problemo. I'll tell you one thing that I've found in my course of editing here. And I used to be like much more dismissive. Lol, the dog. Have you not seen our sleepy dog? I need to add the more you know logo for when I learn something new. That's one more spot that we got to do right there. So what was I fucking getting at right here? One thing that I've learned here is to not disregard any idea that somebody has, and but not to accept people's ideas right off the bat because we're doing a creative thing, but to try to see where that person is coming from. Like often, the specific change that they're suggesting or whatever won't work for my particular style, but nearly always the thing that's driving them to make the suggestion is something that I need to address in some way, shape, or form. So I really like that. Spaces are allowed in names. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd rather just have them all be one fucking word because every other one is there. But that's cool to know. But yeah, I don't want to have to type the space every time. Uh, hmm. I don't like the impatient grumbling here. not sure that even works, to tell you the truth. 2 grenades explode on either. Mm. Mm. Let's see. Mm. Yeah, this is getting increasingly more metal as we edit here, and it should be. It should be fucking horrifying. Ooh. Yeah, that's better. Uh, it's weird. I'm having like a difficult time saying how like the concentration of people Matthew has planted them in bottlenecks where the crowds are the thickest, so each can does the maximum damage possible. Bits of jagged metal ping off pipes and blow out light fixtures. They ricochet off tile, they shred skin, pierce flesh, and shatter bone. They ricochet off tile, shred skin, cleave flesh. Mm. There's a bomb in the trash can next to the ticket machines where a queue of people is annoyed and an old woman. Oh, yeah, this is. Let's cut this whole paragraph. All right, so let's break this down. The backpack that he was carrying was said to weigh like 100 pounds. A can that's just full of Coca-Cola weighs about 12 ounces. 12 fluid ounces. I don't know. What's that actually fucking... Do I have like a drug scale around here? How much does a can of Coke weigh? Can weighs 15 grams. We need to convert That can't be fucking right. $384 grams. Okay, so so each one is going to weigh roughly about a pound. All right, so weight of a frag. Okay, so about 2 pounds for a fragmentation grenade. It's going to be a little less dense. So let's. I think it's fair to say that he had 50 of these fucking cans in his backpack. 100 pounds, a heavy fucking bag, man. I'm gonna be straining. Shout out to the M67. Boom. So they weigh just under a pound, 400 grams for these guys. Why are they not? Let me see. Huh. That's kind of interesting. So, it looks like there's a specific definition of shrapnel. In this case, these bombs, I think, are going to be shrapnel. A hollow projectile containing bullets or the like, designed to explode before reaching the target. And then shell fragments is also part of that. Named after Henry Shrapnel, an English army. So this guy was named after it. So it seems like shrapnel has like a very specific definition. And let's check out Wiktionary. Why can't I ever? Yeah, I could never spell this fucking right. Wiktionary. Let's look this up. So it's historical, mostly the World War II shell. A collective term for shot, fragments, or degrees thrown out by an exploding shell, bomb, or landmine. Slang for loose change. And then it, wow, it's been boulderized down to fucking debris. Boulderized is not the right word, by the way. Boulderized. What is boulderized? To expurgate something. What the fuck? This is a great word. To expurgate something such as a book by omitting or modifying parts considered vulgar. Like, so just like a fucking, a clean wrap. To modify by abridging, simplifying, or distorting in style or content. That's a great word. B-O-W-D-lerized. Where did it come from? Hold on, let's, well, that we're... I just had the fucking... Oh, there's no D. Bowdlerize. Okay, that's why. Named after English physician Thomas Bowdler, after he published a censored version of Shakespeare, expurgating those words and expressions which cannot be properly read aloud in a family. Yay. Wiktionary. Yeah, you can tell this is the morning after a show right here. But I don't know, I'm getting some good work done. Hmm. Who dares to summon me? What? Oh, hold on. Package has been fucking... Alright, hold on. I gotta put on pants for this one. You guys hang tight for a second. So, this one you might like. Looking straight down a 44. Alright. Boom! I thought it might be this. Y'all ready for this shit right here? I hope it's not some embarrassing, like, how to, like, get your dick sucked manual or something like this. Yeah, alpha male dating strategies. Boom! Alright, here we go. It's the new, shinier version of, Space Tars. Alright, this... I can see where this motherfucker needs some work already. Whew. Alright, what do we got here? So yeah, I did a couple things with this one. So what do we do? Let's see. Oh, the spine is much better. Let me see. So they're about the same. Yeah, so I increased the size of the text on the spine. I don't think you can see a lot of what's happening here. I'd have to get all up in it. Okay. So yeah, we made a couple of changes here. I gotta say that the fucking author title text, I think I'm going with the shiny cover for this one. Yeah, it just works a little bit better with the Space Tards image. And I like it a little better if it's shiny. So we fixed the spine, and then we changed the back cover copy. So we're gonna have to obviously move the text up on this one right here because it's too close to the barcode. We'll probably shrink the size of the whole, like, tardigrade, augmented, what the fuck ever on the back there. But Gunny couldn't look away from the sensuous curves of Benny's serpentine injector assembly, the slight deviation of the twin barrels, which gave the wicked impression of a forked tongue. His eyes roamed over the ample, bulging fuel tanks and the salt and pepper scorch marks on the muzzle that spoke of a rugged experience no amount of polishing could hide. Gunny was thunderbolted. He was overwhelmed with emotion, consumed by an all-encompassing need to possess the flamethrower. Hell yeah. Alright, yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And then, let's see, did we fix... Yeah, it works out pretty well there. We got the pork chop from Heath's. Let me see. I think our page numbers are a little too close to the top. I might move those down a teeny tiny bit. I think they're all right there. Let me see. We changed the font on the epilogue, so that looks a little bit better. Cool. Thanks for reading. I Oh, they added like 4 fucking blank pages to the back of this motherfucker, whereas the other one said the right number of blank pages. All right, I'll have to figure out why that's there. I don't like having all them blank pages on there. So we got the glossary. That's probably something I did. Yeah, we added a couple of blank pages. Okay, so we're going to cut a couple of blank pages. 11 June 2020. These are printed, by the way, in Delaware. Yeah, there's a print-on-demand guy there. The books come like a little bit fucking bent, I want to say, when they get shipped that way. But I'll purchase them in big-ass crates, so that'll work a little bit better. Yeah, I gotta say the shiny cover works a little bit. But honestly, I feel like for my science fiction, I go for the shiny covers, and then for the fantasy, I go for the... So Jordan says, "Is this erotic sci-fic?" No, it's like intentionally stupid. Like the where Gunny is so fucking excited about this flamethrower that he can't keep it in his fucking pants. You know what I'm saying? So, which to me is kind of funny. Hold on. Oh wow, you can hear the riffle of the thing against the microphone membrane. Oh, jit, Lefty signed. He knew he'd shucked up. Link, Gunny demanded. The 2 Marines linked trunks. Oh yeah, that dink link. And Gunny chewed Lefty out for nearly wiping the squad. Hell yeah. Such a dumb book. But I love every second of it. That's amazing. I'm so glad that came this morning and that y'all could enjoy. So yeah, very important to do printed proofs. So we're going to make one more printed proof order. Every time I order one of those, it costs me $7 to get a copy shipped from Amazon. But it is worth it to me to do like 3 or 4 passes and make sure that everything's A-okay. So Shipposter was willing to record the audiobook, which is astounding to me. He would do such a terrible job of it. Like, you know, not just putting it out there. 1, he's not like a voice actor. 2, he doesn't have like he has a Blue Yeti. He's not going to have like a good recording environment to do it. It would be funny to do as just a person with a speech impediment reads the audiobook. But I think like the thing is too, like it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to read each chapter. There's like 13 chapters. It would take him like a whole fucking weekend to do this. But let me see. There were 44 bombs in Maybe's backpack. The scene plays out over and over again. Bored, worried, tired people rush forward, thinking about all the bullshit they have to deal with that day. And then the devil snaps his fingers, and everything around them is... There were 44 bombs in Maybe's backpack. The scene plays out over and over again. Bored, worried, tired people rush forward, thinking about all the bullshit they have to deal with that day. The devil snaps his fingers, and everything around them is white-hot shards of metal and blood. Pieces of people blasted all over the station, stunned, uncomprehending faces spattered with blood, screaming that Silent screams, deafened ears, mobs of terrified people trampling each other, falling off subway platforms, crushing each other in stairwells and choke points. Cool. We say bottlenecks there. We say choke points there. No one noticed Matthew. He's just a kid drinking a Coca-Cola. I hope Coca-Cola fucking sues me over this. No one noticed Thirsty either. Five blocks west of Grand Central, Thirsty's bombs explode in the Port Authority bus terminal. 100,000 voices wail in unison, and one by one the sirens begin to join them, until the whole city is one screaming, terrified mess. Down in Chinatown, Duchance begins to laugh on the sidewalk, booming and terrible. People hurry past him, shaking their heads and muttering, afraid to meet his eyes. God damn, Duchance. God damn. Duchance is fucking wild now. All right, so we're all the way to chapter 50. And it's going to be 3.8. And this is 7:08 a.m. at Grand Central Station. So 2 minutes after all that shit went super duper wrong. So this is just a 3-page chapter. We don't do a lot on Saturday mornings here. This is essentially our Sabbath for this editing stream. But I'm glad we did it anyway. I think that this could use another pass, honestly. So what I want to do in the next pass is we want to make it more metal, more believable, find more points where we can hook the reader in and make them actually experience. So like things that could improve this chapter are maybe more talking about how fucking awful that would smell. Jesus, everybody like shitting themselves simultaneously. It already smells bad in Grand Central. And just like being fucking coated with viscera. What's our... Oh, I didn't even estimate like a kill count for this one right here. But the idea of 100,000 people screaming simultaneously, that's pretty... Let's find out how many people are in Grand Central. At any one time, I want to say like... So 70 million people go through there annually. So 150,000 people. And people are trying to get rid of the homeless in there. Wait. Homeless population is taking over. Yeah, I believe it. At 5:30 in the afternoon, it becomes a homeless shelter. And people sitting in chairs with their dicks exposed. Sometimes they can become violently. One guy was pissing himself yesterday. Yep. They'll do it. They'll do it in a fucking heartbeat. Let's see. At one time. Now let's look at a day in the life of Grand Central Terminal. Let's see how many people are there at one time. Pedestrian counts at time of 50,000 people. Wait. 100,000. Between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., 500,000 people enter there 10 times the amount of visitors to Empire State Building in one day. Let's see. Yeah, so like 100,000 people are inside of that fucking station at one time. That's wild. Okay, so I want to say that there are like, of those 44 bombs, each one that's going off, I want to say each one of those bombs is going to kill an average of, let's say 30 people die. 30 people die, probably like 70 people wounded by each of those, right? So, and then like the secondary deaths from people being trampled and later and so forth. 30. So in this particular terror attack, I want to say Duchan's kills about 3,000 or 4,000 people. It's more significant in Port Authority for reasons that will later be disclosed. So, yes. Wait, was this actually chapter 48? Or was it supposed to be chapter number 49 that we just... Yeah, it's 48. So we are now on chapter 50 next term. 48. The next one should be 49. Cool. So it's Abattoir. So Abattoir is a scene where we're going to get back into Sarah and Maybe and what they do after the whole fucking station blows up there. So yeah, I think we need a little bit more work on chapter 48 because I'm feeling it kind of, but I'm not there. I need to like be in the fucking war zone, and a few of the things that we can concentrate on there are like how much dust is kicked up by, it's just choking and impossible to fucking breathe, and that's an enclosed space. We can talk a little bit about how there are like the shockwaves are like a real fucking deal, and people's eardrums would burst because they're under the ground. So there's nowhere for all those shockwaves to go. Like a lot of these people would be deafened, and they would suffer intense disorientation from having their eardrums ruptured. Yeah, in general, like I think we can dive a little bit deeper right here because this really is meant to highlight just how fucked up Duchance's game plan is, and to add to the litany of sins that Matthew has done on his behalf. Because holy fuck, Matthew, like this is like an escalation of how fucking awful the like shooting down the airplane is. That's bad, but this is literally there's a lot more agency required to do this whole thing, and it's much more to terrify people and to feed Chance's infernal power. Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll edge through that a little bit. Let me put some of these suggestions to myself in there. So. So fire suppression systems. We haven't really gone into whether they would be going off and so forth. I don't know what the fire suppression situation is in Grand Central, but potentially, although I think there's a sprinkler system in the dining concourse. I'll have to check. Might be something where you can even pull up blueprints and so forth. It's just like, by the way, it goes without saying, please do not use my ideas for science fiction novels to actually go out and blow people the fuck up. Because one, I'm pretty sure that those Coke can bombs wouldn't even work. And two, like, I know it sounds cool now, but all these people are going to get what's fucking coming to them, right? There is some justice in this novel. Maybe. But or is the justice actually maybe Matthew? You know, what's going on there? Fire suppression systems will be going on there. I think we do an okay job of conveying some of the horror of what's going on there, but we might need to find more. Just some, not just some metal video for war. Yeah, so right now, this is written to a standard that I think is okay for schlock science fiction, but it's not the ZYZ standard of like I want to impress like a stronger reality of what's going on right there. I want to like actually peek behind the veil and think, yeah, what would it actually be like? How would people really feel in the situation there? And this is such a difficult chapter to get right because we're not focusing on the reactions of the characters there, which are going to be individualized and so forth. We're focusing on a like generalized sense of horror. So we want to get it across, and I think we can like dip into some of like the 9/11 accounts. Holy God, that sounds like a guy riding around on a fucking chainsaw unicycle, which is a cool image. But yeah, I'm gonna dig a little bit into some of the first-hand accounts of 9/11 shit and try to steal some of that mojo for this whole shit right here. So yeah, this marks the point of what like one of my editors called the dash in my other books, which is where I just start piling on action after action, and we don't stop until the fucking record drops. So there's not going to be a lot more time for contemplation and soul searching in this book. There are a few chapters where that'll happen, but it's mostly action from here on out. So we'll be looking to see, are we overdoing it with our action? Are we fatiguing our readers? Do we need to have more points for inflection and thought and just time for like the readers to rest up and so forth? Because I think very much the opposite of our previous book that we edited. Well, not the opposite of Space Tarts, because Space Tarts all action all the time. Hell yeah. But very much the opposite of Gravid. We need to see, are we putting in too much action? Do we need to give the readers more time to give a shit about our characters and to kind of fucking rest their brains? Because, all right, I feel good about this. Like I said, Jordan O, if you're still out there, record that fucking thing. I need it today. Or tomorrow. Like, sooner the better. The sooner I get it, the sooner I can start working on that intro, which is going to take a lot of work. But yeah, I need to do some other recording today and so forth. I feel good about this chapter, but I understand, you know, we can't do fantastic things. All right, so this it looks like it's about 2 hours exactly. It's so cool to have that fucking timer there to get an idea of how long we're working. So day 50, although it would be even cooler if we fucking I'm gonna say this was like 637 words. Well, 3 pages. I mean, 652. I would definitely have fucking won the showcase showdown. All right. Yeah, like let's fucking do that. I want to make that a thing. People who stick around towards the end, let's all take a guess on how many words we did that day. No fucking cheating. I won't cheat. You guys can't cheat. But yeah, we'll see who's still there. It's usually just me at the end of these things because everybody else has wandered off to get breakfast or rail the wife or whatever they're doing there. All right, so that needs a second pass. So tomorrow will be day 51. And we got some edits from Spathiwa there. We got the first edit from Christian Chapman. Thank you to everybody who was taking part in this whole deal. And I feel good about this. It's day 50. Well, how many chapters do we have fucking left to do in this guy? We just have 38 more chapters. So it might take 90 days to edit this thing total if we don't pick up the fucking pace. But it's better to do it right than to do it fast. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see if we can actually stop recording.